Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equity Story. I'm with the Wolf, and this is just a general share advice and not personal. Wolf, a number of stories that we're gonna go through these quickly because there's a lot of stories out there, and I only really want to talk about stories that we're going to buy.
Or
but
at least they look all right.
Yeah, look all right. So make cash. Far away. Give us a rundown.
Just a quick one with this one. I think where the CEO of the food business has resigned. So, probably a short-term negative, and he's just gone to a different, decided to do something else after 30 years. So that's fair enough, but it's going to be a short-term negative. For me, obviously, dividend play, it's a hold. If you don't have it, if you're looking for a dividend play, that's a buy.
Right. Great. Good dividend play. Now, LYC.
Yep.
So, Wolfie, I mean, the chart was looking good. We spoke about it last week. It goes on eyesight. It's having a move now. I suppose my question to you, the way it's moving, do you think it can go on with it?
Yes, but depending on what's happening with the actual underlying commodities, right? So I'm just going to go through it right now, and I'm going to go look at neodymium, and let's look at the price there, because what they said, right? This is the commentary from LYC. So obviously quarter was pretty good, but what they say is that there was a recovery in the underlying prices from December onwards, and they're thinking that it's going to continue on. So we've had like they said, they're pretty much recovering, but slowly. It's not a big rise. So potentially I can see $10, but we need that continuation over the next month or two of the upside to the prices of the rare earths, right? So yes, I can see it go higher, but like I said, I need those prices to go up.
Okay, PMT, you believe it's expensive, but I mean, it's still going higher again. Some more good.
Well, they're just adding fuel to the fire, aren't they, with these results? So if there's more fuel, the FOMOs will keep buying this, and this is what's happening. And I think it is but for me anyway, it's expensive, yes, but the results are very, very good. But there's a disconnect for me between the valuation and the results. Hey, saying that, it could go higher with more good results. That's how FOMO works.
All right, FCL, good looking chart, but again, it's up this week. But the general feeling is, Wolf, it's a sell, not good enough.
Look, I think profit taking would probably be my thinking here with this one, with the quarterly. The quarter wasn't great. It was one of the weaker quarters they've had. But remember, quarter after quarter is never going to be the same old linear growth. It's going to be fluctuating. So you've got to understand that as an investor, you've got to look at it on a full year basis. So just on that anyway, on the quarterly and just looking forward, it's still an unprofitable business. So I think there's going to be better business, which we'll look at in a sec, Dave, the bigger boys in the tech space. So for me, this one, maybe you can say it's just going to struggle to go from up here unless there's another catalyst somewhere along the line.
Okay, CHL, Wolf, it's having a good move today. It's still not a buy for me. It needs to do a little bit more. This is a favorite of the Ocelots.
Yeah.
Claude. So go on, far away. What did you make of it?
Yeah, look, and I can see why, right? I mean, their revenues are growing pretty strongly. So the growth rate, I think, was about 63%. Remember, they're buying another business as well. And I remember when I talked to Claude about it, we're talking when you probably get interested in this, and probably technically, of course, we need to see it above the blue line. And when I talked about it, I wanted to see the quarterly, which I've seen today, which is pretty good. But then I want to just see the half-yearly report, see what the outlook's going to be, see how they're going with that acquisition. So I'd say, while I like it, and what I see, I just need to see, probably wait till the February, give us some sort of a guidance, and then we can maybe go from there. So it's almost there, not quite. Maybe just see it in the end of the week. You never know. It could be over 210, and we could be a trade technically.
Okay, so we really want the charts and the fundamentals to line up.
Yeah, we're almost there.
And again, ALC is at the same bracket. It's still struggling to get over trend. My question is why? This is a story that I know both you and Claude like. Why is it struggling so much at the moment, Wolf?
Because it's unprofitable, and this is the businesses that if they're unprofitable, the investors right now are gravitating towards the profitable businesses, right? The value businesses. So again, we'll talk about the tech stocks in a moment, the profitable tech stocks, why they're actually going up, and none of these are going up, or not as strong. And this is unfortunate. That's what they're caught in at the moment. While ALC top line is looking quite nice and growing quite nicely, the cost of the bottom line, Plus, it's trying to managing their receipts and so on. It's not easy for a smaller company. So unfortunately today, I think we saw they've said that some of the receipts just missed being recognized in this quarter. They'll have to be moved in the next quarter, and which meant that the cash outflows look, not great. Hence, it's no movement today or this week probably. But as a long-term investor, it's all normal for me. I've got no issues in there. I can see, further upside.
You see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, absolutely.
DRE is in a trading halt.
Mm-hmm.
And after having a nice little move, actually the chart looks really good. So what's the trading halt about, Wolf?
I think they're looking to raise some cash, right? I think I saw that. And that's what the trading halt was about. They haven't released anything as yet, so we just got to wait.
Okay.
I don't know what the price will be, so it will be interesting.
CMM, trending nicely. This Cap Metals, one that you'd be interested in buying.
Maybe when you have a bit of a bounce from that's probably technically yes. When I'm looking at the actual fundamentals, Dave, they look okay. So you've got, I think AIC costs are about $1,200, which is decent, for a company in this market. So yeah, I don't mind this at all, as long as of course we've got a decent gold price. And at the moment, gold price is still very good, over $1,900, but it's not going up or hasn't gone up for the last 2 or 3 days. So probably that's why you see it a little bit easy and take some profits off the table.
Well, for best global, I know a company that's got a lot of revenue, but company is sort of.
It's a strange one, isn't it? I can't put a foot on, put your foot on and say what is going on here. I've got no idea, but there's a couple of weeks of good performance. And just looking through the quarterly, if you didn't know what the company does, if you go just the numbers themselves, right, without knowing the name, you go, this is actually quite a good recovery story. Over 100 million in revenues, EBITDA positive. Let's look at it further into it. And when I told you the name, you went, oh, not that company. Okay,
well,
that's never a great name.
Wolf, when you're looking at it from memory, there was some just really weird setups to do with the profits and the lawyers that put it all together, where cash coming back, where it seemed to benefit.
Oh, Dave, when you look at the price of 3 cents, there's something's not right.
Yeah, there's something not right. We'll have to go back and have a look at it. I can't remember
Exactly.
what it was.
Exactly.
Like I said, I can't remember exactly what it was.
Don't touch.
It was something that said don't touch. AV1 raising more money to grow their model.
Yeah.
It's this sort of normal thing these microcaps do.
Yeah,
unfortunately, Promedicus having another move up, Wolf, and now possibly hitting record, well, not far off record highs.
Yeah, look, it's a smaller deal that they've had previously, but they keep coming, don't they? So Dave, they are building the revenues pretty nicely. So overall, yeah, look, he's just probably run too hard for me now. So I'd say take a maybe profit somewhere around the 70 mark, maybe.
All right, now very, very quickly, Wolf, I just want to have a look at some, some stories that we put out on Einstein's and some tech stories that we're having a look at.
Yes.
And we did have some buy signals. AGI, again, look how lightly that's traded. This morning it looked very, very good, but it had a nice little buy signal. The best buy signal, I think, was Monodelphous, MND. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to get some good news there.
Yep.
360, MTC, and buy signal IGL. Now, Wolf, we put this on as a hot stock. We actually did have this on as a hot stock in around. We put it on here in June, July.
That's nice.
Yeah, and it's up 35% for us. It's been sort of a nice little move. And we just saw this next buy signal, another, still a good story, still a good dividend, not quite as good as still trading at 13 times. Hot stock, Lasoo. Now, you spoke about Lasoo before, potential upside in that online sort of shopping portal, and it could be very, very good. So they put 4 million in that, and they had that big acquisition of Arto. So there's a few, the company's done some interesting acquisitions. They've got some interesting irons in the fire. And, but importantly, Wolf, you're saying that companies don't like unprofitable companies. This company is profitable.
Correct.
And that's why I got the tick. So just a few stories now. I think my favorite story, and I don't think we're trending sort of Goodman at the moment officially, but this is my pick of the bunch, really. I really liked it on Einstein's bullish.
Yeah, you've obviously been watching my Osby's appearances because you've been picking all my stocks.
Well, I think I'm definitely going to pick this one, Wolf, and I think we could put this one on as a trend with a nice little stop below that 1935, and I think a target price around 22. So I think that would be a really nice little trade for the day if you agree.
Yeah, agree.
Just a bit of quality there, Wolf, and quality is what you want. And I think nice little 22 pays a decent dividend. Could be a nice sort of 4 or 5 month play.
Yep, sounds good.
Now I'm going to have a look. We're talking about tech. Is tech back, right?
Yes, there's the question, right?
And I still
you're not 100% convinced. Now I can understand why. Technically,
I'm not convinced, but there's two types of tech stocks.
Correct.
There's tech stocks that actually do well and make money and are great businesses, and there's paper dream stocks.
That's correct.
Tech stocks. So I think you've got to differentiate them. And it certainly looks like the real stories, the ones that make money, are certainly having a really good move.
Yep.
And it's good to see that SQ2, which we went a little bit early, is actually moving. I think we've got a 129 target price.
Yep.
It's looking pretty good for us. So Wolf, I'm just going to let you go for a few of what you call the better tech stocks on our market, and we can just have a look at them and see what they're up doing.
Yep.
They're doing. We had a look at Seek, and Seek for me just needs to do a little bit more.
Yep. Okay. So we'll leave that one. XRO.
And again, from a trading point of view, XRO needs to do a little bit more. It's heading the right direction. It just, I'd rather buy it when it's swinging up here, when I can really see the momentum's back. But certainly, Wolf is looking good. Now, IEL, which is looking a little bit better on the charts, this one looks a little bit better for me, Wolf. And if it could have a good candle this week, possibly you could see us retesting that sort of 33, 34 level.
Yeah.
And again, maybe a nice little stop somewhere under that sort of 28. So, it's not looking bad. And I heard today the Chinese government have told all their students they've got 2 weeks to get out of China, otherwise their degrees don't count.
That's right. Hello IEL in Australia. They're going to be the winners, aren't they?
That's well, no wonder they're up. I mean, they're going to have to make sure their bills are paid up to date, and if they want to get back. But it's interesting, and I think the chart looks interesting. REA just needs to be a little bit like Seek.
Yep.
But these stories are looking better than they've looked for a while.
Exactly.
ALU, where we had a buy signal on it, so I think we've got people in this. My question is, I think if you're in it, you'd be holding it, correct?
Look, fundamentally, you would. Technically, would you?
I think so. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. No, I think so. I mean, listen. Yeah, there's a bit of noise, but if you were brave, and I would have maybe taken a profit really last week, but it's still. I think the price action today is good enough to say, I'd be, if it looked like this by the end of the week, you'd be holding it.
Yeah.
Car is another one. But it's again not bad looking charts, Wolf, right? Not bad. It's above trend. Your old NXT is poking its head up again. It's done it a few times. I still want to see a lot more.
Fair enough.
And there's a very, very profitable company, Market Darling, really had a superb run, and I'll be taking profits. I think one that is interesting a little bit is AVH, because I brought this to your attention last week when I said, what's going on here? We got some news. You got a massive move up, and that looks like it's on the way to $3, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Look, it's time, isn't it? I mean, they've sort of gone over that big hump of COVID. So now they should be able to start ramming up those revenues quite significantly. So let's see what happens. And $3, can we come?
And all that, Wolf. So I mean, there's definitely stories that are interesting. I mean,
but you can see the movement, right, in the tech stocks in a big here in Australia, the big stuff. So that's at least it's encouraging at the very least. And there's probably some of them. You don't want to go too early. I know that I've gone a little bit maybe early on XRO, but I've taken a punt on one. Whoop-de-doo-da. saying that, I think I agree with you, Dave. I think maybe just with the tech stocks, when you look at NASDAQ, it just needs to do one more maybe good week, and then maybe we can start getting some of these stories.
Get a little bit excited, but we're going to put Goodman on as a trade today.
Yep.
You know, good story, good solid story. It's not overly expensive. Possibly, you know, one of the better stories on our market, and I think that could go on with it, Wolf. On that note, I'd like to thank the great Wolfie. Have a good day, Wolfie. Looking forward to tomorrow, where tomorrow night we've got live as well.
Yes. Cheers, guys.
Bye bye.